GPISD Bilingual Educators. My name is Veronica Bensby. I'm the World Languages and Cultures Facilitator, and today I welcome you to our video training on how to use our rubrics to evaluate your students' performance on the Spanish Credit by Examination on the writing and speaking sections. The American Council of Teaching Foreign Language, or ACTFL, have developed performance descriptors for language learners. There are three ranges of performances. There is the novice range, the intermediate range, and the advanced range. Each range is categorized as low, mid, and high. In the novice range, there is no functional ability. Speech is limited to memorized material. In the intermediate range, the learner can create with language and just ask and answer simple questions on familiar topics and handle a simple situation or transaction. In the advanced range, the learner can narrate and describe in past, present, future, and handle a complicated situation or transaction. The top two levels are superior and distinguished, and in those levels, the learner can support options, hypothesize, discuss abstract topics, and handle a linguistically unfamiliar situation. The learner can satisfy most work requirements and can survive, cope, and thrive in a country where the native language is used. Now, having reviewed the pictorial representation of the performance descriptors, this next document you see here before you is the rubric the students are going to be evaluated on. The first rubric is for the speaking test. The first step is to complete the information request on the small box located in the lower right corner. Be sure to correctly spell the name and last name of your students. Student ID numbers are required. On the left side column, we have 5 components that you must observe to determine where in the following 4 categories the student's speaking and comprehensible output skills fall. Number 1, description. Number 2, fluency. Number 3, vocabulary. Number 4, grammar. And number 5, communication. Please read and get familiarized with the rubric before you start this rating process. Once you are ready, play the audio file and adjust the volume on your device to be able to receive the best audio quality. Listen to the full length of the audio. Then, place 1 checkmark to identify the level of the student's interview performance on each one of the 5 components. Most of the time, the checkmarks or points awarded creates consistent patterns. If you have a student that shows advance in vocabulary and fluency, will most likely not perform at the beginner's level in other components. This part that I'm going to explain now is extremely important. The maximum score that a student can earn is 25 points. You are not going to be adding points from each part. From the overall performance, you will rate the student's speaking skills performance from 1 to 25. Please add some notes on the rater's observations box to justify your score, especially if it is lower than 12. On the other side, we have the writing rubric. This one has 4 components on the left column: description, vocabulary, grammar, and communication. Get familiarized with the descriptors before you begin reading the student's compositions. Again, complete all the fields on the identification and score box located in the lower right corner. First, read to understand. Check if the student has the capacity to communicate clear ideas and the level of complexity of the statements. Then, focus on grammar, since this component could be the hardest one to master. The maximum score that a student can earn is also 25 points. Remember that you are not adding points from each one of the components. From the overall performance on the composition, rate the student's writing skills on a scale from 1 to 25. There are a few important reminders. We have students from different Hispanic backgrounds. Keep in mind that it is valid the use of regionalisms, vocabulary words unique to those countries other than Mexico. Also, there are different accents and characteristics ways to pronounce words. For example, the word papalote will be xiringa for a Puerto Rican student, or mi papá could be replaced for mi apá. In terms of pronunciation, in the Caribbean area, it is very characteristic the aspiration of the sound of the letter S as a J. For example, a Puerto Rican student will say, yo estoy muy bien, but will write estoy with S. Do not penalize students for particularities in pronunciation and accents. That is not a negative thing, it's just a cultural trait. We all have accents. Also, please be balanced. Keep in mind that you are evaluating students in the 5th grade and they will not perform as a secondary level student could perform when taking the CBE. But don't forget that the purpose of the test is to provide credit just for what they already know and to provide an accurate level of performance so we can provide the best placement in load courses to continue developing their Spanish language skills and to the point of achieving biliteracy. You are all bilingual educators. You are experts in second language acquisition. I highly encourage you to discuss the performing levels and the scripture with your co-workers and to help your students to get familiarized with the rubrics. If you need assistance or if you have additional questions, please let us know. Thank you.